welcome back to Dead Pine Archives. I'm Dan, and I have my two co-hosts with me today, Kelly and Neil.
Hi, hi.
Hello.
And today we are going over the Ada Witch.
Yes, I decided to go off script a little bit and go for more of a legend about a specter than an actual physical creature. But that is only because there's big creature things that are coming, so just wait to see. Just
Big creature.
She counts as a cryptid, I'm pretty sure, more than a ghost story.
I mean, she kind of shows up in both categories. It's one of those, but one of my main issues with like spirits and specters versus like creatures and cryptids is that they don't leave as much like fun evidence behind. Yeah, other than like the occasional murder. But I mean, they both kind of do that. So
Fun.
Yeah, Yeah, so we're going to be doing a little bit of a ghost story today, and then stay tuned down the road and I'll have some more creature nonsense for you.
There are plenty of ones I'm sure you're going to get to. I mean, we can take turns, but I seem to see that you really want to do those.
Listen, we can take turns if you want to. I want to do it.
Oh, that is fine.
You can do as much research as you want.
Yeah.
And
really
I will.
tying my hands.
Okay, so for starters, our topic today is the Ada Witch. Are either of you familiar? Have you heard of this lady?
I've heard of the name. I don't know anything about her, though.
Okay, Neil?
Nothing.
Your face said it all. It's another situation, kind of like with the Dewey Lake Monster, where I've never even heard of Ada, Michigan. I'm gonna be honest. Though, like, we passed through it because it is east of East Grand Rapids, and Ada Township is where the Friedrich Meyer Gardens are, which we've been to multiple times, but it never occurred to me until I was doing the research. And when you go to Google just Ada, Michigan, the first thing that shows up is Ada Township, which is where that is. And I was like,
Wait.
No, I know where Ada is.
What?
So that's because I have family that lives there. But yeah, I like feel like I heard her name, but I don't know if I'm also like mixing her up with like the 1,000 other random women ghosts that are on bridges and yelling at people. Because I know there's one that's closer to us of a woman in a bridge and anger issues and whatnot. You know that one, yeah.
Morrow Road or whatever.
Yeah. But
save it. Use it later.
But I remember hearing like the Ada Witch being like a cryptid ghost story thing.
Gotcha.
But I've never looked into it.
Yeah. So, again, I hadn't either, and I didn't even recognize that this place existed in Michigan because, once again, you can live in a state your entire life and still never even experience a quarter of what it has to offer. We live and we die within 15 miles. La, 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 la. We don't. We travel and we live wide. So.
Live wide is my new...
Instead of live, love, laugh, or whatever. Live, live, laugh.
Live live, laugh wide.
Write that down.
I need it on a poster with a cat hanging off a tree.
Neil, I'm angry as hell. That's actually very good, and I'm pissed. Say it again? Wait.
Live live, laugh wide.
Stupid as fuck thing I heard of.
You're gonna put that in my kitchen.
Dude, we're starting off strong. Hell yeah. So when it comes to the Ada Witch, the legend goes like this. Once upon a time, there was what we'll call a happily married couple for that. We're gonna fucking find out. I'm going to call them George Glass and Jamie Glass.
Is that their names?
Wouldn't you
I'm
like
going
to
to call
know?
them George Glass and Jamie Glass because that's their names.
Because that's their government names.
You got that from,
You're miming the opening grid of the Brady Bunch.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, George Glass.
His name is George Glass.
His original government name was George Tropicana. Thank you.
Are we really making Brady Bunch references right now?
I was just doing a fun little goof, and then Dan was legitimately like, "You're talking about the Brady Bunch. How stupid do you look?"
I didn't say you looked stupid. I like the Brady Bunch.
Welcome back to Dead Pine Archives, where we only have the freshest of cultural references.
Listen, everything comes back, all right? Twilight made its comeback. The Brady Bunch is next, okay? That's the timeline. Call me on it now.
I think too many of them have passed.
It's fine. So, please, tell us about George Glass.
George Glass and his wife, Jamie. They were living during the 1800s in Michigan, over near Grand Rapids. So 1800s in Michigan, you're thinking like doing like lumber things and clearing out the woods to make room for further industrialization. It would still be a few years before Detroit became a huge mecca. Raising barns, pulling in lumber, chickens. Life was a little bit rough, but it was simple. It was good. It was homesteading and all of that good stuff. And they seemed, for all intents and purposes, to have a happy, loving marriage. However, there were dark clouds on the horizon of this lovely marriage. George was busy. What with... Christ. Jesus. George was busy. What with the lumber and all. And Jasmine, I changed her name 4 times.
Yeah, Jasmine now.
She's now Jasmine.
I'm sorry, is she going to become Jet Ski McGee?
Bullshit. Okay. George was busy doing lumber and whatnot. And Janie was an efficient hand around the household, so her days grew dull eventually. She had less and less to do because, you know, the house wasn't very big. So eventually she started spending her afternoons in town. That one-horse town with, like, a buggy.
Hey, I'm
stuff.
Steve. That's the one horse.
I was like, I didn't give anybody that name. So she starts spending more and more time in town, and then she starts to grow an unlikely friendship with the local tavern keeper's younger brother. For all intents and purposes, we will call him Rolf.
And how young was Rolf?
Just younger. The tavern keeper was an older dude.
Okay, I got
like,
So, did he also tend strawberries in his spare time?
History may say. So,
What of his parents?
what of his parents? Did they too tend the strawberries? How drunk were they?
How drunk?
Well,
You said tavern.
I did say tavern.
It's all connected.
Can't see our board with all the things in red string everywhere.
Red String Brigade have
Boxes of
arrived.
heavy.
So, Jamie Glass and Rolf formed a friendship, and before long, their friendship blossomed into something a little bit more. And whispers started to circulate through the town because the town was small, and gossip is king. So, they began a torrid affair, and Jamie couldn't care less because she was busy falling in love all over again. So it got to the point where she was sneaking out almost every single night after her husband fell asleep to go rendezvous with Rolf. Eventually, George did get wise, and one night he decided to follow Jamie on her path through the swamps on her way to meet Rolf.
Oh, man.
He confronted her, they started arguing, and ultimately he killed her.
Bummer.
He then, because, like I said, by this point, he had gotten wise to their whole scheme, he then decided that he was going to wait for Rolf to show up. Rolf did. The two fought, and ultimately ended up dying from their injuries.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I don't know who was carrying what kind of knife, but they both ended up dying in the swamp also. But out of the 3 of them, it was Jamie that was doomed to forever wander the earth because, fuck you.
Well, I mean, she
Ain't that just like a lady?
Well, no, I mean, I will say out of the 3 of them, she was doing the bad. But
Right. It's interesting that like they all died in the same spot.
Yeah.
But ultimately, she's the only one that everybody sees.
yeah.
So
that kind of tracks with, like, normal ghost lore, though, right? Like the unfinished business trope. Because she's the only one there who, like,
She did.
has unfinished business. I feel like the other 2, like the guys, it would have been like, oh, somebody killed me, I need revenge. And then they just killed each other, and they're like, well,
I mean, I guess.
I guess it's on to the afterlife for me.
I guess that is a good point. It's not like
She's like,
you
wait,
can't avenge yourself if you're both going down together.
she's like, wait, I was falling in love.
Yeah, well, that was originally the argument I was going to make for Rolf, and then I was like, well, no, I mean, I think whoever killed you takes precedence, and they did both die at the same time. So yeah, that's basically how the legend goes. The legend is always about a woman that cheats on her husband, and he, as a result, ends up killing her and then dying himself at the hands of her secret lover, who also dies in this weird Ouroboros type situation.
Unfortunate.
One of the interesting things about that legend is that this is the legend of the Ada Witch. There is no mention of witchcraft anywhere in the legend.
Dude, if it's a woman, they're going to be like, well, we can't
that's
call
the
her
thing.
a bitch online.
That's
so.
the thing. 2 things that you see pretty consistently when it comes to the legends of deceased young women is some form of witchcraft and some form of the woman in white.
Yeah.
We get a lot of
You're
those.
either pure or you're the devil.
Well, we get a lot of those, and I have no doubt that we will cover more women in some color down the road, because the woman in black, the woman in white, the woman in red.
There was one in blue that I actually looked at.
It is so funny that you say that, because in one of the accounts of the people that allegedly spotted her at the cemetery that I will get into, somebody did switch it up and say that they saw a young woman in a blue floral dress. And I was like, oh.
Minnie Quay was wearing white.
That's true.
Oh my God.
That's true.
There's only so many colors.
Do we ever remember what men were wearing when they die? Like, they'll be like, oh, they're wearing old-timey stuff.
Pants.
Actually, I will say in my story, there is, in the next episode, they do describe what he's wearing, but it's not like, oh, a color. It's just,
I imagine
clothes,
Somebody write into our email, I need you to tell me and provide me proof of a legitimate ghost story that you can back up with some sort of sighting of a full ghost man swinging dong. I need to know about a ghost that is Pooh Bear in it. No, because...
Oh, no, there's definitely is. I just
But
don't know it.
I don't know any. That's the thing. You make a good point. We never remember what a dude was wearing when he died, because it's always a woman in a flowy gown. It's never a woman in a Britney Spears crop top.
I do think this is Kelly saying that all these, we're going to have to make you your own personal email or your own personal something, because all you're going to get is the photos none of us want.
No, I didn't. Okay, let me.
You wanted proof. What do you want proof of?
Listen,
Shit. I may have shot myself in the foot here.
Listen, no one's swinging dong in Ada Township or county or whatever, because if that's where the Frederick Meyer Gardens are, that horse dong is the dong anyone's ever seen.
I was going to say, first of all, you can't malign any listeners that might be from Ada. I'm sure plenty of them are swinging dong. And then he brought up the horse statue.
Wow, this is a lot of dong. He means
Dong
there's a
talk.
giant horse statue where they sculpted everything.
It's Steve from the One Horse Town,
Oh, yeah, the one horse town. It's just this one giant horse.
who's very well endowed.
No, I was just going to say that I have a photo of us and many of our friends staring up at its butthole. The garden
Literally
horse.
spared no detail.
You know what? A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Oh
So,
my god!
Again, precious precious cultural references. The Mr. Ed Show. Only on Dead Pine Archives.
It wasn't even I think it was off the air before I was born. Moving on. I'm running the show. Sorry.
Hear that? Kelly's in charge.
Sorry. So that is the legend as it goes. And when you go to look up mentions of the Ada Witch, it is very interesting, because while I do not get my in-depth sources from Wikipedia, I do like to go down rabbit holes, and sometimes when I'm starting to do research,
help. I mean, yeah.
when I start to do research, I will start there and pull the thread and see what shows up, because I like to know, and they are very good at citing their sources. That's how we came across some of the ones that we use in the archives now, and it's very, very good.
I mean, it's something to look at. You just can't take it as like, fact. It's kind of like when you go.
I'm not going to diagnose cancer with it.
No, but it's like when you go on Google and all of a sudden it throws up that like stupid AI overview, which is wrong a lot of the times, but they will have the link. So if you do see something interesting, you can go to that link.
That is true.
So like I'm not like I'm not for it, because again, it gave me so much information that was not correct to what I was looking at.
Yeah.
And so I'd go to the link and I'd be like, this is not even close to what I was talking about. But if you're looking for something specific, it might pick it out.
Yeah.
You just don't take that as 100%.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this, don't look up ghosts and ghouls and cryptids. That's our job. Come, let us do it poorly and listen to us talk about it.
You're not allowed
No
to
more
look
internet.
up.
No more internet. Okay.
Do look up giant horse dong.
No.
No, that's gonna. Do you know? God, you are like your wife sometimes. Do you know how to use the internet?
Also, I don't know if I even like. Can we need to set this as an age thing? Like, no one under 18 can watch this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would prefer if you're not under, or if you're not over like 21. I can't have a conversation with you. You're a child.
Our first episode talked about a beer.
A beer?
A beer
that none of us were willing to try. No. I'm sure it's
we
great.
Just swear, and sometimes Kelly talks about, and Neil talks about horse dongs. So
I just want to know. You don't have to send me
It's
a photo.
art,
I would like to take back what I said. I never said. I said give me proof. That means cite your sources, not send me a photo of
Send
Uncle
your
Henry
site.
Pooh Bear in it.
I don't know. I think you're gonna get things you don't want.
He has to be dead. Okay.
Oh my god.
Also, the horse dong we're referencing is
It's art.
You know what?
Art.
It is. It's probably the most expensive art we've ever seen because, my God.
culture.
We've been in
Shut up.
the DIA. I don't feel like that's gonna be the most expensive.
Dan, you don't know capitalism. You value things based on their volume. Yeah.
I'm a fool.
The Mona Lisa's worth like $20.
But that horse dong.
Dude, that thing could fund the whole country. We're supposed to be talking about ghosts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's.
Christ almighty. Okay.
All right, so she was a witch. And
I thought you were going to go in a different direction. I thought you were going to do a skater boy. She was a witch. He was the son of a shepherd. Can I make it any more obvious? Oh, Christ. All right, let's get back on board. Okay. When I will go to do research on these things, one of the threads I'll pull is the ones from Wiki, and I wanted to go on Wiki just to see if there was enough information about the Ada Witch for it to have a page. Wiki, unfortunately, does not have a page devoted to the Ada Witch. But what was interesting is when you just go to look up Michigan witches, what you will instead find is a metal band called Acid Witch that was formed in 2007 in Detroit. So,
Where are they now? Are they good? Did you listen to them?
I listened to one song, and so they're described as a mixture of doom metal, stoner metal, and some psychedelic influences, which means I can't listen to it for too long because I'll get scared. But
will you play us part of their song?
I don't think we can.
Well, I just want to hear.
Yeah, we'll just react.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one that I had queued up was Midnight Mass. Ooh. One of the cool things that they do is a good number of their songs have audio clips from old horror movies. They use a lot of like John Carpenter and whatnot.
Oh, sick.
So for Midnight Mass, the first like 2 minutes is like audio from a movie. Yeah, so they do that, and then after about like the 2 minute mark, then we get into So yeah, that was Midnight Mass.
Okay, I mean, and yeah.
It sounds like a band from 2007.
Well, yeah. So, when you go to look up the Ada Witch on Wiki, again, the Ada Witch doesn't have a page, but these guys have a page on Wiki. It's not huge, but it just talks about their influences. Their lyrics contain a lot of like sex, drugs, gore, rock and roll, Satanism, witchcraft, all of that good stuff. They describe themselves as Halloween metal.
Sick.
And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And
I do love that.
As far as I can tell, they're still releasing music as recently as 2023 because they dropped a single called Pranks. And they have 4 albums as far as I can tell.
The prank it's not actually a song.
They have Witch-tanic Hallucinations, Stoned, Evil Sound Screamers, and Rot Among Us.
Hell yeah.
So,
Some local music. Go check them out.
Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised that not only... If I couldn't get a hold of sources about a witch in Michigan, at least I got a hold of Acid Witch, a band from Michigan.
Can I? Okay, so this is just an aside, but because I don't know what movie the opening clip to that song was from. Do you know what?
No, that one that I found wasn't uploaded by the band.
Got it. Okay, so they had an opening clip to the song Midnight Mass, and it's from some, I'm assuming, John Carpenter movie based on what you said. But one line that keeps repeating, even though it sounds really hard, and because this is our first episode, like really talking about a witch, right? Yeah.
A little.
I know it annoys all of us, so I'm just going to bring it up right now. They did not burn witches in Salem.
You sound frankly uneducated, and I think you should stay in your lane.
Like, seriously.
You're not even from there.
You're not even from there.
Yeah, there's... I just...
It doesn't happen here.
That
They got hung or stoned or
I was going to say,
grounded or...
some people got squished.
Some people
that
got
wasn't a
squished.
witch. That was
just a bad
Okay,
man.
okay, all of those people who died in Salem weren't witches.
Sure, but he wasn't even accused of being a witch. He was just trying to be,
I thought they did
an
accuse
asshole.
him of being a witch.
No.
No, he was just a weird.
No, they were pressing him to give up his land.
Well, yeah, but I
Classic.
think they were using...
Honestly, bring that back.
Yeah, you might be right on that one. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But that's not what this one is about, so I'm not gonna right now. But everyone
thank
else
you.
look it up and tell me if Neil's right or am I right? Was he accused of witchcraft or was he just pressed because he was a jerk?
Oh my God.
No,
But
I
thank
just
you,
do
Neil.
the research for me on that one. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil, for bringing that up. And I do think that somewhere down the road, once we've exhausted all of our Michigan content, eventually we're going to expand to Massachusetts.
I'm sure.
We're going to have a bananas episode about Salem because we go there sometimes.
We go there sometimes.
Okay. So
we are talking about Salem. I'm going to use this time to shamelessly plug our other show, our sister show on the Hiraeth Podcast Network, Midnight Horror Picture Show. I recently had a conversation with a filmmaker from Salem, Massachusetts.
Nice.
His name's Luke St. Germain. Check that out.
He's super nice.
He is super nice. Fantastic talk with him, but it's different than our usual episodes where we talk about his work, but we also spend a lot of time talking about the city of Salem, Massachusetts, where to stay, where to go, what to avoid if you're planning a trip there this spooky season. So check that out.
Important resources, important content. Absolutely. You know what? People can always use a guide.
That's true.
That's not just Googling it and it's the city itself putting it out and be like, here's 5 places you should take your kids. And I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay. So now that we've covered Acid Witch, which totally relates to everything else that I'm talking about.
Very important.
Spooky content.
Spooky.
Halloween metal. So yeah, when I was looking into the legend about the Ada Witch specifically, there was a lot of back and forth on the legend. And for the most part, when you go to look up information about her outside of Wiki, what you will find is references to fiction books. So the first mention of this ghostly lady that was linked to the actual name, the Ada Witch, instead of just a woman in white or the ghost of a young lady, was published in Haunted Houses of Grand Rapids in 1982 by Gary Eberly, which then had a resurgence in 1994. And can you guys guess why? A little bit of trivia here.
No.
Why would a book about a witch suddenly regain a lot of popularity in 1994?
The Satanic Panic.
No, that was so much earlier.
It wasn't, though.
It was still going on, but it didn't start then.
Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus.
When was
That came out in the 90s.
That was like...
All right, whatever. I was talking about the Blair Witch Project.
Ooh. Okay. I didn't know when that came out.
I didn't expect you to.
She did. She asked that, so I looked like a freaking idiot.
No, I just thought it was interesting because whenever
Hocus Pocus came out in 93.
I don't focus it.
99.
I don't care what Hocus Pocus did.
Also, Dan, you were right. Giles Corey was accused of witchcraft.
Yes.
I
don't even have to look it up now.
This show
that was after he sold out his wife Martha.
Yeah, no, he's a total dick.
He sucks.
He sucks.
This show.
I'm glad he got squished.
Dude, he did not care about his wife or anything. He just didn't want to give his land up. He was like, no.
And then little
Wait.
Abigail was like, well, Giles is also a witchcraft person.
I think they were like, he's an asshole.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, back to Ada.
This show is falling apart. That's what it was. I'm sorry. The
fact.
Let me take part of that back. So in 1994 was when the book had a reissue. So that's why it came out, because then it was more relevant in the 90s. And then all of a sudden, that's what'll happen is whenever there's a piece of lore that comes out in big media, suddenly everybody that knows about any sort of local lore that is slightly flavored in that direction will be like, oh, this is the witch. We know about it. We got one of those.
I got to say something.
Holy crap. So when you go to look up the Ada Witch, that is one of the first things that'll show up is that book originally published in 1982 by Gary Eberly. And then when you scoot down a little bit further, you will find another fiction book about the legend of the Ada Witch, which was published in February of this year by a man named Stephen J. Eliers. And I knew that it had to be wicked relevant because that book is linked to the site adawitch.com. So I was like, okay, oh my God. So I went to go check it out. The site is basically just one of those promotional sites for the book. It has the about the author, it has the book and a brief little synopsis of the book, and then it has a link so that you can buy the book on Amazon. And I was like, okay, I'm curious. So I went and checked out the Amazon listing of the book, and it's on there. I forget how much it's for, but you can buy it. So I went and checked it out. And it has a mention at the very top of the Amazon listing with a little badge on the cover as well with laurels that says bestseller in horror. And I was like, oh my God. And it says that honor was bestowed by the publisher. And I was like, okay, So I scrolled down, self-published. Self-published.
Stop it. Stop it.
What a, which, like, hell yeah, Steve. Hell yeah. He gave himself all of the accolades.
He did the best that he did, and he was like, I deserve this.
Dude,
I'm gonna start
yeah.
giving myself awards on everything.
No,
Every
I'm gonna
film,
start doing
everything.
that too. Initially, I was like, you son of a bitch.
Oh my gosh. This
Play
just
the
in, guys.
system.
Hold up. I'm getting a message right now. We just got voted best 3-host podcast on the Hiraeth Podcast Network.
Oh my gosh.
And we won best historical, sometimes fiction reading of anything. We also won
the comedy award.
the comedy award. Kelly, congratulations. I think the three of us won the best looking and the smartest people on earth award as well. So.
And then we also won an award because we won so many awards, but all three of us at the same time. It's like insane.
The most awards. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
A coveted category in the Hiraeth Podcast Network.
Yep. It was really, really tight with Fighting with Midnight Horror. They definitely won a good portion, but anything that had 3 hosts in it, we had.
Frankly, it's just an honor to be nominated. But no, I appreciate his moves. And to his credit, there are like 60 different reviews on it and ratings, which, like, I don't know 60 different people to hype up the stuff that I do. So congratulations to him. If you're interested in a book about the Ada Witch, go check that out, because I am genuinely curious about how spooky it is.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. When it comes to the Ada Witch, a lot of this legend is speculation. There is a lot of speculation around even when the time period of this legend would have been. Most people say between the 1700s and the 1800s. I don't know why we view that as the spookiest time in America. Yeah, I do.
Because anything could take you out. A paper cut, dead.
But that could have happened in the 1400s.
Yeah, but white people weren't here
like,
in the 1400s, so history doesn't care.
Well, that's why when I was like, I don't know why we thought that was the spookiest time. Yeah, I do.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I do.
it was
Yeah, I
also
do.
probably because, like, documentation.
It's just,
when
at
it
least comes to, like, ghosts, we think that all ghosts were made in the 17 and 1800s. That nothing but dead people during that time. I don't know how we're here.
Yeah.
So when it comes
Maybe
to...
it's because we're just in America, though. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand people were here way before.
But think of the Pilgrims.
I know, but, like...
They all died.
But that's still late 16, early 17.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, anything before then, I know there were people here, but, like, the culture that has been brought over and populated didn't have any of those, like, you know, there was no, like, written down history.
it just seems like a lot of our specters take place between the 1700s and like the 1900s because again, you don't see any super cool like NSYNC fan ghosts.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no
you gotta wait until like the year
now.
2100 for that, right?
Well, here's the thing. So if you're walking and you see a ghost and they're dressed up like they're from the 1400s, you're going to be like, wow, they're dressed up like the 1400s. If you see someone who walks by really quick and they're wearing a t-shirt and jeans, you might not realize that you're seeing something weird.
If I see frosted tips, I know exactly where that guy came from.
Listen, you can see them now. I've seen them in the wild. It's scary.
It is scary.
If I see the ghost of Spinner Mason, I know exactly he's alive and well. He's fine.
I also don't know who that is.
God!
I never watched that.
Oh, you didn't?
No, because I didn't want to.
That's fair.
It wasn't a cartoon.
I didn't watch Friends. We talked about this, so that's fine.
Degrassi was on when we were teenagers. You didn't have to watch cartoons.
I was an anime kid. I know.
Send your complaints to Hiraeth.
You don't have to shame me. Everyone else already has.
We're supposed to be talking about ghosts.
Yeah, let's do that.
When it comes to the local legends of people seeing the ghostly figure of a young woman walking around, some of them have reported seeing them around Seedman Park, where it said that the murder took place because that's where a lot of like the swampland is. But the legends are also centered around Findlay Cemetery, where locals have sworn they've seen the ghostly apparition of a young woman wandering around. It is a cemetery. Very, very likely. It's more of those classic woman in white type things, although again, there was one eyewitness that did switch it up a bit and say that the woman that they saw was wearing a blue floral dress. I did look into some work that the news station Fox 17 in West Michigan did when they actually covered the Ada Witch for a mini Halloween fluff piece last year in October. They ended up sending a guy out to interview Candace Smith, who is the founder of Tours Around Michigan. And they even brought in a seer by the name of Rick Wade to feel out the vibes of the cemetery.
What a name.
I know. They brought him to the cemetery, but unfortunately he wasn't able to really pick up much apart from when he first walked into the cemetery. He noted that there seemed to be like a rush of energy that rolled into him. But then when they went over to the actual gravesite, didn't really pick up anything. He had a little spirit box with him and some sort of, what's the reader? What are those letters?
EMF?
EMF reader.
I got you, boobs.
I just imagine Rick Wade, professional seer, walks into the cemetery. A lot of dead people.
I've noticed a couple dead guys.
I will say, I know when it comes to like ghost hunting, it's it's the tools that you have, but I do appreciate, because I know we're all on the skeptical of maybe people can get in tune with like the other realms and all that, and then maybe they're just faking it or all that. I appreciate when like someone goes somewhere and instead of like the whole time being like, I feel so much here and this and that, and they're like, it's just not happening today, because realistically, that's how that would happen. You wouldn't always feel something always, you know?
I don't know. I feel like if you're at a cemetery, I feel like you gotta try to not feel nothing.
Well, I mean, it depends. How many ghosts are there?
I don't know.
I don't know how many ghosts end up sticking around.
Guys, if we ever want to go full grifter on this, I just want to be the guy who's like, I'm a seer, and then never see anything. Be like, nope, everyone's lying to you. There's nothing here.
The spirit is stored in the stone.
None of these stones have been cracked.
That's the thing. Is it because none of them are broken? So interestingly enough, when they went to the cemetery and they were hanging out around the tombstone in question is the one that all of the locals leave little trinkets on, and the ones that everybody attributes to this legend, which is the grave of 29-year-old Sarah McMillan, who died in November of 1870 of typhoid. She was not murdered.
Well, she was murdered by sickness.
Wow.
I was going to say, what a bad name. Someone write all these names down.
No, so that is incidentally a bit of an issue because
people... That's not the girl from the story?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. The girl in the story of the Ada Witch, there's no name, there's no official records, there's no nothing. Half of that story that I told you guys earlier, as far as like the details in terms of like the lumber and like George Glass like being like a loving husband and like her cheating on him with Rolf, the tavern keeper's younger brother, most of that stuff I made up.
It was so believable. George Glass.
What? Did we just get grifted on our own podcast?
No, the broad strokes of the legend are this.
Was there even a tavern?
No, there was no tavern.
Then where did they drink the beer named after the cryptid?
So the broad strokes of the legend are this. Once upon a time, there was a married couple.
Is this even real? Can I trust anything you say?
Let me do my thing.
I'm hurt, Lou. and I don't hurt easy.
The broad strokes of the legend are this. Once upon a time, there was a couple that was married. The wife cheated. The man killed her. That is the legend.
That's it? There's no younger brother of the tavern keep?
No.
Well, we don't know.
No, she cheated on him with somebody, and he followed her into the swamp, and he killed her.
I'm not going to lie. The most interesting part of that story was that the guy, the husband and the lover killing each other at the same time. I was like, how did I do that?
Okay, that part that was one of the accounts. The thing is this legend is very
vague,
bare bones, because the legend of a woman in white has so many regional copies throughout the country, throughout the world. Like, people take it and they play with it and they make it fit however the legend works. They take the name of a local dirt road. They take the name of some deviant that lives up the street. They like squish them together, make them kiss, and then you have your own version of a legend. This one has no definitive facts. And again, so many people have decided that this poor girl, Sarah McMillan, who died of typhoid, is this person. And it is a little bit of a problem because so many people have gone to the cemetery after dark, which you're not supposed to do, and messed around out there that the stone started to break down.
Her soul.
The spirit is stored in the stone. And there ended up being a donation of a new stone because so many people kept fucking with it.
Yeah, don't fuck with that. That's rude.
What if her husband's name was Typhoid?
Tyler. Hi, Tyler. Short for typhoid.
Well, now we have a good new list of baby names for everybody. Write that down.
Yeah.
I actually go by Foyd.
I actually go by Foyd. Oh, I hate it. I hate it a bunch. But yeah, that is basically the long and short of the Ada Witch. It is very... Listen, when it comes to the legends that we're going to cover on this podcast, I like whimsy and I like fun. I did step out of things a little bit by doing a ghost story instead of like a cryptid story. I'm always open to the possibilities. We are a group of semi-skeptics who will enjoy ghost stories, but maybe won't always go to a cemetery after dark because sometimes it's a little bit scary. And when it comes to spirits and ghosts versus cryptids, like I said at the top, I tend to like cryptids a little bit more because they leave behind a bit more evidence, and biology is a weird bitch. So sometimes you do just have weird, freaky animals. But when it comes to ghosts, they don't really leave behind too much evidence other than, like, you know, the pee in my pants. So...
Well, that is something.
My pants.
That is something that I've already been like facing because I've only done ghost stories so far. That like ghosts, like some of them leave evidence of like, you know, what the records say, but a lot of them, since you are also right, are like, you know, 1800s. There's just nothing written down.
Well, also, okay, so I think what's really interesting is the way you described how this like lore came together, and the fact that we don't even know who the Ada Witch was in life because of a lack of evidence, records, whatever. It almost feels like the idea of a tulpa, but like a tulpa ghost, which is...
No, tell the fans.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so for those of you not...
Smart.
Familiar? No.
Okay, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with the concept of a tulpa, it's essentially like a thought creature, right? Where it is something where enough people believe in it that it materializes, right? Like Santa Claus.
Is that how he is? Everyone believed.
Exactly.
One of your most modern and spooky iterations of a tulpa could be Slender Man.
Oh, yeah.
Originated in the internet and became such a legend that it ended up having real life consequences.
Exactly. So maybe...
no, you just have to believe in it hard enough and then it actually exists. Again, if we could all just get on the same page about Santa. You don't even have to be Christian. I ain't.
If we could all get on the same page about me having $1 million.
That I think it's a creature. I don't think it's going to give you money.
Okay,
Santa,
so wait, what's the difference?
House.
Because that, you having $1 million is more, what's the word?
Realistic?
No. What's the manifesting? Yeah. You having $1 million is manifesting.
Yeah, and you have to manifest something else. Like a creature that could kill people.
It's okay, Neil. $1 million Kelly can't hurt you. She's not real. $1 million Kelly in the corner of the room with $1 million gun.
Well, I guess it would be that maybe anymore because I bought the gun. maybe the tulpa though is more about like a fear base, you know, belief. So that your fear is what's really fueling him instead of just like manifesting like a dude.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Everyone quick gets scared of Santa. I want gifts. I'm kidding. Don't get scared of Santa. I don't want to deal with that either.
But yeah, so that was, in a nutshell, the Ada Witch.
All right, man.
Well, awesome. Thank you for lying to us and doing that research.
Listen, I like to keep you on your toes. And I did do research about it. It would be different if I just came on here and did like full improv for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
I did not do that.
Fair.
It's okay. I think our next episode will just be about the therapy of my friend lying to me. Yeah. To my face.
You're soft.
I am.
How are we supposed to live, live, laugh wide?
I'm telling you, good merch. Good merch idea.
You know, I think we need to get more than like, I don't know, 3 people listening to us before we get merch.
Okay, you say that. On the first episode, I re-listened to it, and there was so much mention of having like strawberry merch. And Big Boy Timmy Lake merch.
Who brought up all the merch, Kelly?
Not me!
Again, apologies to all the Big Boy Timmy Lake fans.
All I said about merch was that if we go somewhere and somebody has a little cryptid hat with a stupid little thatched head, I want it.
Same. No, that was, yeah.
Everything can't be a callback.
You literally brought it up.
Joey says otherwise. Thanks for listening today, everyone.
As the episodes go on, me and Kelly will get into more and more vocal fights. It's great. We're having a lot of fun here. Anyways, so yeah, thank you for getting through this episode with us, Kelly. I did love the improv, and it hurt me, but it was good.
Your story
Thanks
was
for
better,
looking it
Kelly.
up.
What?
I said your story was better.
Thank you.
It was a better version
you.
of the mythos.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like them both dying together.
No, hey, that part, somebody did say that.
Well, you made it seem more believable.
It also
But
does
wait.
feel like an anime scene where they just punch each other and both die.
Yeah. I do think, Kelly, you had the power to say that they kissed right before they died. Not the girl, like the two dudes.
I assumed you meant the two men.
That is why they have no unfinished business. They fell in love with each other.
Aw.
And then they killed each other.
With love. Okay, we're all right. Thank you for following us through this journey. I don't even know. I gotta
Wait. Before we wrap up.
Oh,
Why am I in trouble right now?
The Ada Witch
Why am I on trial?
is what?
a ghost.
Is a wino. A witch in name only. Because there is no witchcraft.
That was what we were saying
Not
at the
even a
top,
little bit.
is that if you are just a woman who died, then you either yearn for all eternity after a man.
Or you cry about a baby.
It's either too many babies or no babies. And if you die, if your death comes after you committing a sin, you are automatically a witch.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So, that's how it goes. Them's the breaks, kids.
And that's our show. Thank you to those who have given us a 5-star review. It's the best way to support us. And if you haven't yet, please leave a review and subscribe to us wherever you're listening. You can follow us on Instagram at Dead Pine Archives, and you can find all our episodes of Dead Pine Archives wherever you're getting your podcast. So whatever you're listening this on, you can listen to the rest.